Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's wow, been about 2 years, probably a little bit over 2 years since I actually jumped on this public live stream channel. Definitely gonna probably be some familiar names and kind of faces because I can see the avatars in here. Let me throw my video up here real quick, and I will see what see what kind of information I can give. As some of you guys know, I have a public private group, and it's closed at the moment. So every beginning of the year I'll probably reopen it if I plan to do it again, but it's closed out. So I decided to jump on here and do a public one, and I don't know, just give some information out because I like to still help some people. And then obviously sometimes you guys got some good information, so maybe you guys got some stuff too that you're like, hey Chris, check this out. But I'm just going to stick with XRP and BTC. I'm going to keep it simple on this, and we'll probably be going over XRP first, and we'll jump over to BTC, and I will give my targets and things that I feel that it's going to happen. I do not hold XRP. I do not hold BTC. I have my reasons, but I'm a fan for both. Don't discount anything. I'm rooting for people to be successful with XRP. I just view the markets different as time has went on, and that's where I'm at today. But no disrespect to BTC or XRP. And XRP is the chart probably I stared at the most, so I feel like I'm most connected with that one. But yeah, I got a bunch of my friends and people in the group that actually still hold XRP, but I do not, if you're wondering. So the good thing is I don't have any emotions towards this. I don't care if it goes up or down for you guys. So if I'm reading it, it's reading it without any bias. I don't care. So hopefully you guys find that of value, that somebody's reading it that doesn't care. But once again, like, I'm just going to be straight up about it, just the way I read. Definitely been a long road for me, and I've put in a lot of hours since I've obviously done a public view. So my reading's probably a lot different the way I read stuff now, and learned a lot from mistakes and from everything else. So shout out to everybody that's in here. If you guys do have a question, just feel free to fire away. Probably after I do XRP and BTC, I'll let you guys know. We can do some AMAs. If you guys have some questions, I have no problem. And maybe if you guys ask me for a chart or two, I'll throw it in there. But I just wanted to focus strictly on XRP and BTC. You can ask me that question, Lee Taylor, whenever after I'm done with it, and I'll give you the best without giving you too much. I do not want to. I don't want to cause a shitstorm in the space, all right? So I don't want to say things or post things. It's nothing that I'm like, oh, I got something that's super juicy, but no, I feel like I got some information that would obviously cause a big disruption in the space. I don't want to cause that. The information I feel is pretty valid, but it still could be questionable. But yeah, I don't want to cause a shitstorm and cause some drama in the space when I don't have 100% accuracy on what I have. But it's something I feel confident in, so I go off of it. But I won't disclose what that is. It's nothing that anybody else can't find. It's available. But yeah, I don't want to cause a shitstorm. But I will say I'm bullish on XRP right now. So if you guys are wondering, all that matters is, right, hey, do you think this thing goes up or down? Well, I think that both happens. But my short answer is that I think we go up. But let's go ahead and jump into that. I'm gonna give you guys my view. I'm gonna give you guys what I think happens on XRP, and we'll go from there. And you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts, and we'll see if this provides some value for you guys. So I'm gonna start off on more of a macro view here. I'm gonna go to a 2-week schedule, and I'm gonna show you how I read this, and literally just jumping down to it. No narrative, nothing like that. I don't look at news. I look at the chart. The SEC case, no offense, I didn't pay attention to any of it. And you guys probably are like, well, I can see why, man. This shit damn shot up, and now it's like kind of like the hype's gone. It's like, now what? Well, it's not fully done yet based off of the information I'm about to show you. But and for those reasons, yeah, it tampers with the mind. So I try to read this more than anything. So let's go ahead and start off on a 2-week kind of view here. And what I'm going to target the most, that I feel most comfortable with and I spend the most time with, is going to be the RSI and the stochastic. I feel like I know them very well. I'm pretty comfortable with them. I understand their behavior. Some people might be like, I understand what it's supposed to do. When you spend a lot of time looking at these, you get really, really comfortable, and you're like, I understand what it can do. The probability is really what I go off of. So If you're wondering if I'm just looking at this on a 2-week schedule for XRP, a couple things. This is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the stochastic, and what I typically do is I will put my dotted line up here because I want to see how far, if it's maxed out yet on the 2-week. And as you can see back here, you can see we got to that 94 area, excuse me, 94 area, not where that it means that can fully max out. A lot of times these go to 100, but let's just say for the history of XRP, at least for this chart, it's got to 94. We're not there yet. It definitely has bottomed out, as you see down here, so that's a good sign. So that means there's still room for the upside to say, well, this thing's not done yet on the upside. And these are 2-week candles, so this is more of a macro view, which is typically where I like to read more so. So that's a positive thing right away. So from a 2-week schedule, I say that there's plenty of room on the stochastic. I don't think this thing is close to done yet. Coming over here to the RSI, I'm a big fan of piercing up on the RSI. What I mean by piercing up is this dotted line right here. When you start piercing up on that, you start getting some pretty aggressive pops, and you can see that we're en route where that could happen. So if I quickly just look at a 2-week snapshot, I'm going to say right now in the 2-week, I'm like, everything looks good, right? You might say, well, do you think it can go down first and stuff like that a little bit? We'll go into that as we get a little bit more zoomed in, maybe towards the daily. I'll look at it on the daily, but I'm not looking at that on the 2-week. I do like these wicks here on the upside. I think that those are of value, and we'll be looking at some up over here as well. But for right now, take one step at a time. I'm targeting these wicks right here. I think we go to the upside right there from the 2-week schedule. Let's go over to the 1 week and see how that's looking, see what it's telling us. I do like these moving averages right here. I've seen them on a V-chain at one point. I have like a mental picture sometimes when I see this setup and the way it's kind of drawing. Not that I fully go off of those, but I just take that into account as I'm reading this. Once again, I do like these wicks to the upside here. I understand there's wicks here, wicks down there. I'm not going to go there yet. I do think that they are all of value. All these wicks, the wicks up here, the wicks right here, the wicks right here, the wicks here, and the wicks here, they're all of value. But the answer is, or the question you guys might be wondering is, that's cool, but is it, we need to know, is it up or down first? Like, that's the main thing you need to know. And you have to stick to the macro view to do that. Otherwise, playing at the smaller levels, playing with the narratives, you're just going to get lost in it. You're going to get frustrated. You got to have patience. You got to stick to the macro level. That's what I do, and that's what's gave me a lot of success from coming from after my mistakes and stuff. Like, I literally had a lot of success reading this stuff and dodged a lot of downside. So looking at the weekly schedule here, let me I don't know why that's not. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't doing that. Same thing. Come down here. Let's look at the stochastic. Last time we fully bottomed out was back in June. We did top out. We haven't bottomed out since. So this becomes more of a neutral read for me. So it does have more upside if it wants to, but it becomes neutral, so I don't find it quickly of value. However, this becomes of value to me right here, which is the possibility of another piercing up on the RSI. As I showed you on the 2-week, you can see what happened on the 1 week. You see how we pierced up, and you see that large candle that came in? That's what I'm talking about. Now it's back underneath it. If this does come up and pierce up again, you're going to get another pop, and you'll probably fill those wicks. If I go and I guess I can show you this. This is a chart that's of value to me with gaps and stuff. There's certain gaps that become more important than others. What is going on with my mouse? Okay, there. I guess I got this bang-ons. If you've noticed, I posted, and I'm not here to toot my own horn or anything. I don't even care to flex or be that guy anymore. Kind of dropped that guy, ego-wise. There's certain charts that become very important and they're of value. And as for example, this one, this Bittrex had an 85 and 89 cent little pocket here. So if you've followed me on my my Twitter over here, you'll notice that I mentioned that. Geez, I don't even know when I mentioned that. It was a while ago. Like, hey, just want to let you guys know this is a high prob. Okay, here you go, right here. I found it, June 4th. High probability. Sometimes I don't put XRP on there. If you're wondering why, the damn algo, the AI is reading us. I'm over. I try to dodge it as much as possible while giving information publicly. So XRP chart here, as you can see, 78, 87. This was actually on a Poloniex chart, which of great value, high probability. I'm showing you another one that really had that kind of pocket, notated right here, and you can see it came up there and grabbed it. So you might say, okay, well, that's cool. Like, that was, yeah, this is information that can be very, very helpful for somebody that's like, hey, what do you think it's going to do? Is it going to go back down? It's like, you might want to just relax for a little bit, because there's a high probability that this gap was going to get taken out when it was down here. So even though I do have gaps to the downside, I personally don't want to play that game when I know I have gaps to the upside that are very, very specific, and you don't see them a lot. And as you can see, they got grabbed. You probably are looking at this chart right now saying, hey, Chris, you got one of it at $1.59. Is that of value? Absolutely, that's of value. You should take that. That's very important, especially with the momentum and what we're looking at. So before we jump to the gaps, let's get back to reading what we are reading here. I don't know what's going on with my mouse, but we'll figure it out. So let's go back. Let's not worry about the gaps at the moment. Let's just read the thing. We could be piercing up here. I would not play around with this candle right here. Can we come and back test this? We play some basic TA? Absolutely. We broke out. We can come and back test what we broke out right here. We got a triple cup scenario going on, hitting a nice little level here. Can we come back down here? Yeah, I got a gap at 47 cents if you guys are wondering. Gap right down here. By all means, isn't come back down here and pull this. However, it goes back to what I just said. You're going to play that. You want to play that card? You want to try to trade this? You can if you want. I'm saying I wouldn't. I personally don't play that game. Not at this kind of level. I mean, you waited this long drawing this. You got your SEC case. Why play around? I'm giving you guys some good data right now. I got a gap to $1.59 that I think is of great value. It's on a couple different charts, but we're not going to stop there. If you come back over to what I've given out publicly, if you're wondering some of this stuff, so this was back in June 13th, 2022, over a year ago, and you can see, I have some targets here. So these were all laid out a while ago, this data. And the reason why is because these are areas, gaps and stuff that I feel are of great value. I feel they're important. They do upset some people. No one wants to see a 9 cent on there. No one wants to see a 13 cent on there. Even some people don't want to see a 25 cents on there. However, we know that thing went down to 28 cents not too long ago. Didn't say anything, because I knew that doesn't mean we're going down sub 20. Sub 20 is of value to me, and I think that does happen. But for the most part, it's not about, it's about the read. Like, where can it go first? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going to $10? There's a moon on there, right? I can't rule that out. So it's on there, but it boils down to probability for me. Like, what is likely going to happen? Where are safe pockets, safe areas that you might want to know about? So you can see my $1.30 on here is my next guy. I think this is my target. It's a fair conservative little area. If you've seen me post, you'll see me say like $1.30 is where's it at? Right here. $1.30 next. Remain patient. Let it draw, right? So Rob, thanks, brother, man. Hope you've been well, man. I don't forget you, man. I remember you were from a while ago, and I know you started doing your own thing, man. Wish you success, and hopefully things been going well for you, man. Thanks for the tip, brother. Going back to this, the $1.30, you can see I'm posting it there, and you might say, why? Well, that's a little pocket for me. So you can see I got it up right here. I think that's around this wick area right here, and we're just close to that $1.59 area. So if you're wondering like what some targets are for me, if you want black and white calls, things that are like no bullshit, I'm not bullshitting you. Like, these are areas that are of importance to me, and just like I had here, this was really important to me, and I thought there was a high probability. I'm saying that $1.30 is a high probability. It's a high probability that it'll hit that, right? It's probably a 90% chance it'll hit that, and then after it gets there, I'll probably start looking at this $1.59. That doesn't mean this is where it fully tops out. I'm just giving you guys some areas that I think are probably going to happen, and just like this area, probably was going to happen. I didn't know the SEC case. I'm not going to know when narratives hit, but there's a high probability you're going to get the $1.30 and then the $1.59. Now, you might say, well, I want to know, is it going to go down first before that? Well, let's keep looking at this. So let's get out of the weekly. Let's go to something like let's go to like a 6-day. And I don't mean to drag this out. I just have to, I go through the different levels here. There's one thing you should stare at right away when you see this. This rising RSI, as it gets to this level right here, pierced up a little bit. You saw that candle come in. It's now back laying on top of it. If it pierces up again, can it do that? Yes. Look back here. We're not even close to maxing out. This is an area I wouldn't play around in. That's just me. I'm not playing around right here. One little pierce back up, you're going to get another candle, and you're going to be pissed off if you're waiting for it to go down. Still not going to discount that I got levels lower here. I got them right here. I got gaps right down here all day. It's up to you. Do you want to play that game? I wouldn't play the game. I would stick to this beautiful upside that's happening, and just because the hype seems to have calmed down, I don't think it's done at all, especially with the way this is sitting. That RSI can pierce up. that's of great value. Now, if you come over here to the stochastic, once again, we are not maxed out on this 6-day stochastic. It can come up here. It bottomed out here, pretty much. Not fully, but bottomed out enough. We haven't topped out yet. So, 6-day says it's got gas in the tank. I wouldn't bet against it right now. 5-day playing a little bit of neutral area right here. Didn't top out, didn't fully bottom out. I can't use that as much, but I can see that this RSI is in a nice bullish divergence going on. Well, it's not a bullish divergence really because the price is rolling with it, but it's on a nice little uptrend. If I come over to the 4-day, as we go down here, we're looking for something that looks a little different. This looks really good. You want this to obviously stochastic to curl back up. It's got plenty of room to come up to the top side, and we could be going to pierce again on the RSI. If that happens, enjoy another little pop here. Going over here to a 3-day. This is where we're going to probably start to see some stuff. Look, now we got some different stuff going on here, so let's back out of that and look at these moving averages that are intersecting right here. So the purple is the 500 moving average, the 50 is the yellow one, the 200 is the red, and the 100 is the blue. I can turn off the lights here. That right there ain't no joke. Doesn't mean it's going to pop it, but we don't fully know that yet. This is a lag indicator. These MAs right here are a lag. I wouldn't bet against that right now. Not with everything we've been pulling together so far that I've given you, and also looking at some gaps. Why are you going to bet against it? Why are you going to lose hope? I wouldn't lose hope. Hang tight right now. Be patient with this. Let this stuff draw. That's like that's the most number one thing. You got to have patience, or you're going to just get impatient. You're just looking for you got the moment here in front of you. This is when you should probably tap into patience and calm down. Let this thing draw. However, you got to be aware when probably to get out, because it can easily come back down and start grabbing some gaps down here. That's the key. Definitely DCA, take profits is very important. So when I'm looking at this, just looking at these moving averages, I can go to more of a fuller chart here in a second. But do I see when these intersect like this? A lot of times I will see a pull down. Now you might say, well, Chris, are we gonna pull this whole collapse again? You don't got to live on that happening right there. Absolutely not. I can show tons of charts that are coming that do this, and they don't pull a massive collapse. However, they do pull down a lot. You do see them pull whenever it starts to intersect, and after it starts to fully go through, then it'll rip up again. So anyways, that 3-day, these moving averages are no joke. I want to play around with them. And I guess I'm thinking a new mouse here. It's breaking on me as I'm doing this. We did top out on the stochastics. I'm not a big fan of that. Don't really like that. But what I'd be hoping for is that this to curl up and give you, even if it's a lower high on the stochastic, that'll just, all you got to do is pierce this one more time right there. Pierce it one more time. It can be a lower high, right? It doesn't need to be a higher high. It can just be a little bit of a pierce. You're going to pop that candle right there, right back up through that. You can come right up here into the dollar, almost get that $1.30, right? And then you might say, well, what is it going to do at the $1.30? Is it going to keep going? Nah, you might want to look for a draw. You can then look for another pullback. But I think he can come up there and grab that gap. Well, I don't have a gap there. I might have a gap there on something, but $1.59, I have a gap on 2 charts. That's important to me. But $1.30 is my safe little pocket there. 90% probability. I'll say it again. I think that happens. Go over to the 2-day chart. Let's see if 2-day gives me something a little better. I do like the 2-day a lot. So even though the 3-day was kind of maxing out, the 2-day looks beautiful. I came up here. I didn't fully top out, but then I've already bottomed out once. We'll call it twice on the stochastic. Look at this. It's very confusing, and it should be, because you're in the middle of this, of this level here, playing around, saying, okay, what are you going to do? But a swing up right here, whew, and to pierce that right there one more time. Once again, you don't even got to go and pierce higher, but you have every right to. Look at the history, right? Put your dotted line up there. You have every right to. This thing is in a very bullish form. I would not play games with it right now. I'll probably say that a lot throughout the stream. You got some moving averages running your way too. Looks very, very good. I like the way this candle is drawing at the moment. We still got a day and an hour to close it out, but I wouldn't just rule that it just collapses here. There's every bit can still pop up. So once again, not giving you 100% guarantee. I'm putting stuff together, but my whole thing is I stay patient. So even if this does pull back here and wants to come and back test, I'm still looking at the upside. So I just stay patient. Still, because it's still in that draw, it's still in that motion. Just let it do its thing. That's the big key thing. Just let it draw, man. Let it draw. You just got to get that macro right, you know, get the macro form right. So over here on the daily, we got a couple things to look at. As you know, I go right to that stochastic. We are pretty much at a bottom level down here. That doesn't mean it can't stay down here. If it stays down here, they can dump this thing right here, boom, because I got some gaps down here, so it can dump it, right? But I like the way it's set up. And then what we want to do is go to the 23 hours, shave an hour off, see what this thing's been doing. Ooh, see, when I go to my 23 hour has spent a tremendous amount of time down here, bottoming out, playing a game. It has every right to dump. It had. But you know what? That 23 hour, I'm gonna bet on that. We're gonna go over to the dominance here in a second to really try to pull this together to say, you know, what's the probability of this going up or this dumping back down to, you know, grab some of these or back test. But right now, you know, I would stick to the upside. I wouldn't bet on the downside right now. Not yet. Not yet. Not with what some of these, the way this is forming still. It's not fully there. No one fully knows. But why not? You're gonna be pissed off if you bet and then it goes up here and starts getting towards that $1.30. You're gonna be like, son of a bitch. You're gonna be pissed. So why play that in this game? Right? Don't just be patient with the draw right now on that. So that looks really good still. So I usually stop there. I mean, I can go down to the 4 hour and stuff. We can go down there 3, 8, whatever. Let's go to 8 hours, see if it's bottomed out. Nice bottoming out, great structure. Doesn't mean it can't kick back down, but it has every right, as you see, to come back up here and max out. So July 11th was the last time we topped out on the 8 hour. That's good to know. So I'll repeat that. Last time we topped out on the 8 hour for the stochastic was July 11th. We've already bottomed out multiple times. It has every right to go up to the top here, which means there's plenty of days ahead, 2 weeks ahead, to continue this. So you got to tie all that together and then make a decision. So this is how I'm making decisions today. So we'll go ahead and just go right back to like a daily here. Let's go to the XRP dominance, and we'll see how that's looking. So coming over here to XRP dominance, I got some gaps on this. I'll open this up for you guys to see some of them. You know, I got some above and I got some below, but I'll give that to you. This is typically for my members, but I'll open this up a little bit. So let's turn this on. You're going to see things I've had. So I had a gap here on the dominance, and then I got one above still. And that one on the dominance got grabbed. So keep in mind, I had gaps at those 90 cents that I said were high probability. And then I had a gap above on the dominance that was saying, hey, we can go and do that. So it's supporting that. Today, I'm still telling you, I got a gap above all the way up here, right, for the dominance of XRP. I'm stating that actually, and you can see this thing broke out, back test, and shot already off that red trend line. But this gap up here can support what? It supports my $1.59 XRP or my $1.30 XRP. I can do, they're tied together. We can say that there's a probability that happens. So once again, even if I'm not in XRP, but anybody that is, or somebody that I know, I'd be like, why don't you just relax for a little bit and see if this happens, because you're en route right now for it. Doesn't discount below. Once again, not ruling out stuff below. You can see the dominance can completely fail. Dominance is just a pie, you know. This would mean that XRP shoots before others or before BTC. It eats up a lot of the dominance. Like if it was a pie chart with a bunch of alts, the percent would be XRP's eating the pie, taking up all the pie right now because it's starting to push up first. And we just looked at the chart. Chart looks pretty good. Doesn't say that it's not dead yet. I would say that there's an opportunity here in front of us. So this is a 2-week look. What are we going to do? We're going to go down here and see what the 2 week says. And now this is when things really start getting important. You're like, wow, the dominance isn't fully maxed out on the stochastic as we see back here. It looks like it's in motion. It's in route right now on, these are 2 week candles. It's en route to continue this upward motion. So XRP looks pretty good. What else? Oh, wow, the RSI, the dominance, it acts the same way. You pierce that RSI and the dominance, you're going to pop this up. This is where it's like, do you want to play around with XRP right now? I'm not. I wouldn't if I was in it. Hell no, not looking like that. I've one little swing. If this continues up like it's doing, and this pierces right there, that's gonna pop that. It'll pop that, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get a well over $1 XRP. Let's go down to the 1 week and see what that's looking like. We can turn these off since we looked at that. Oh gosh, look at the dominance on this. Golden cross possibly happening on the dominance. Once again, it's just, you tie this stuff together, you're like, I'm not going to play this game. And then you say, oh wow, it's underneath the RSI. Do you want to play the game? You want to bet against that? If it pierces up, that's going to pop that. Same thing here. Are we fully maxed out? We are not fully maxed out, as you can see back here. And you can see right here, we have not reached that upper level. And we can see that we have bottomed out back here in February. We have not fully topped out yet on that. So when I look at the dominance here on this weekly for XRP, it looks pretty strong. I'll jump to like a 4-day, see what that's looking like. Wow, those are really kind of tied together here. Yeah, it just, everything I'm looking at, not to waste too much time on this, it just looks really, really good. Like, you gotta, it's, if you hold some XRP, I mean, I would keep holding right now. It looks pretty damn good, especially the way that this is starting to curl up right here. It's very powerful looking, honestly. Yeah, look at the, when you won't see this very much. Let me turn this, where's the, I can't turn this off. Won't let me shut off the candles. I don't know what's going on to my okay, whatever. I'm just looking at the, I wanted to show you, see how these are real intertwined? You don't get that very often. All the moving averages, the 500, just look at the purple, red, blue, yellow. You see where they're all at? Scattered, scattered, scattered. Dude, you don't ever get them like this. You got to set up. You got to set up. They're all wrapped together. One little curl like that, it'll pop that up, pop that up, pop that up, and you'll get a nice little, you'll get a nice win right there. Yeah, these are lining up good. Look at them. They're like lined up really good. So what'll happen is the yellow will bend up right there. They all start bending up straight up. That's what you'd be looking for. We have bottomed out on the stochastic on the daily for the dominance. If it pierces up on the RSI, you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, overall, if you're you know, you came here and you want to know what my XRP is, I'm giving you straight black and white, no bullshit. That's what I'm looking at for you guys, and just remain patient on this. We'll see how this thing closes. It looks we still got about 30 minutes to close, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Stay patient. There's a slim chance. There's a chance. I don't want to say slim. There's a chance we come back. I got some gaps at 47 and stuff, and we back test this. But I would stay bullish right now, the way that looks, definitely. Let's go to BTC. So BTC, oh wow, BTC turned this candle around today. Didn't know that until now, which is tremendous. Does that look like a nice little bottoming area? I think so. It looks really good. Definitely bottomed out down here. Let's back this thing up to a 2-week. I'm expecting this to push up right there, honestly. That's the way I see it. Right. Been spending a lot of time on this guy. Okay, so we got a new 2-week candle, pretty much fresh. We got 12 days left on it. Created a nice wick on the base. That's good. So we got that out of the way. Let's come over here and see what's going on. Never fully maxed out on the stochastic, right? You got to come up in here and read that, because you can say, oh, it's been overbought. You know, it's not true. You got to come up here and you can see we max out. We never got fully there. So what it's doing is it's playing around up here, like crinkling around up here. Next thing you know, it starts kicking back up, and it can go all the way up here to flat top that and literally run this all the way through to 2024. It's two-week candles there that we're looking at. And once again, if this starts to climb up and pierce, you're going to pop that candle. It's a 2 weeks, so don't expect a major pop on that. The weekly more so, maybe. Let's go to the weekly. All right, so we're at the weekly. You can see how nice that candle is looking right now. That's what typically you want. Monthly candles, weekly candles, right when they come out the gate. Today's the 1st. What do you want to happen? You want it to go down. You want it to create a wick on the base there to make that candle pretty balanced. Why? Because if you look at all the candles, majority of the time, there's always going to be the exceptions right there. Majority of the time, you're going to have a wick on the bottom or something. So it's nice sometimes just to get that out of the way, which is what happened here. So I'd stay pretty bullish right now. You can see this is really reversing for the day. You can see the way that was looking. And we're not fully bottomed out on the stochastic, but let me see what's going on here on the weekly. We did fully max out. Don't really like it to give me what I really need, but it still can come up here. It's still, and that can pierce that right there. So we have a chance to pierce that and push that, and I think we can get up towards that $35,000 to $40,000 BTC. Definitely got gaps on both of those. I got them at 35 and I got them at 40. So that's of value to me. It's I don't care how it wants to draw. I don't care if it pulls back. I'm looking at macro more so than anything. We'll go over here to a 6-day, see what that's looking like. 6-day. Didn't fully bottom out, but good enough. It's right there pretty much. Hasn't fully topped out, so we got that. Nothing other than, it doesn't look much different than the weekly, so that looks pretty good. But let's just keep going. I usually try to push through some of these just to see. Love this right here. So this RSI, the way it's climbing, but it's hanging underneath the RSI. This is a 4-day. Remember, if it pierces that dotted line, you're going to get an explosion to the upside on a 4-day. Most definitely. On anything, but we're on a 4-day. It'll be really powerful. Go to a 3-day. I think we're getting a golden cross. Okay. A lot of times when these go to cross like this, you're going to get them to pull back. This one, as it crossed here, it pulled back first. Crosses the 500. You can see it pull back. Now this is crossing the red 200. You can see it pulling back a little bit. But this can hold right here and slingshot this up. Still holding very good here. Didn't fully max out on the stochastic. I'm not really a fan of the way this is drawing at the moment. It'd been nice if this was actually on the way up. I would like that, but it's on the way down, so don't really like that. That would favor more of a bear side, because if this comes down here, fully back down here, that can drive this down. So I don't really like that, but that's on a 3-day. Let's go to the 2-day, the 1-day to see if we can find some more information here. Look at that. Nice 2-day. We've noticed that on XRP, bottoming out on the stochastic. This can be an area that we can now go back up. We have plenty of room, plenty of days the next couple weeks to push this thing to the upside. So I like that. Go over to the daily, and holding it right there on that around that 50 moving average. Doesn't need to be perfect. Came and touched that 100 moving average right there with the wick. Looks great. We can see it did it back here. Last time we did that back here, we pushed up. So here we go again. Can we get it again? I know it didn't happen here, but it doesn't need to be perfect. I just try to look for some positive stuff there. Stochastic. These are the ones I like. I love stochastics like this to keep on it. Let's say this thing wants to curl up and rip up right there and then pop up right here. You got a chance, This looks good. That's a good candle. That's the candle you want to come through. Now this wick does become a value to the downside, but you can see this created a wick down here. Went and ran up. You can see that wick got filled right there. This looks good. I like the setup right now. There's no doubt I like the setup. Another thing we can look at, and let's go to some gaps. We can probably go. I think this area back down here was of interest to me, and I can get it on more of a macro scale. So let's go to. Before I go to the XRP dominance, let's go to gaps. Let's go to some future gaps here, just real quickly, and see what we got on deck here. I do got some stuff down below, as you see. Some of these got cleared out. I kept them. I keep them for learning purposes. So 1, 2, 3 there, 4, 5. You see how we came back up and grabbed them. We did leave a gap there. We can come down and grab that gap if we wanted to. I'm not really looking for that now. The 20,000, we were back here. We were looking for that, but it wasn't fully locked onto it. But you can see I got a 35 right here above us, and then I got a 63. So these are areas of interest to me. Nothing's guaranteed, but they are of interest to me, so I got to take that into account with what we have. Let me go to the other CME chart here. Got another 35, got a 50, got a 61. They are of interest to me. As you can see, I got stuff to the downside. The hard part is what? Is go up or down first. That's what you want to know. Well, you're gonna have to. That's where you got to read fractals and stuff sometimes to tie it all together. So when I look at this, I'm very bullish. I don't even if it wanted to pull back down, I'm still looking for that upside. I think we're driving up. I'm bullish right now. Let me go to, what do I want? I want to grab that. I think it's the index chart. As you can see, I have a lot of different unique Bitcoin charts that I use to read. Yes, I do go through all of them, if you're wondering. They don't just sit there. I was just coming back here. I wanted to fish this fractal right here. Really like this fractal. What I'm looking at here is this formation. You see the 1, 2, 3 cups right there. If you come back over here, you have that here. It's not gonna be identical, but you also have this back section here that looks the same too, right? So the way it comes off this is you got that, and then it pulls down. So you got this, and then it pulls down. You can't be specific, precise. That was what I did back in the day. You're just gonna screw yourself up. You got to be open to the way it's drawing. So you can probably see it a lot right there. You see the way that this is drawing right here, and you can just see how this is opening. Don't let this higher high right there throw you off. That would be like if this was up here. So what we'll do is we'll grab that, and I'm not saying we're going to go and do that fully, but we'll at least I think we'll get a lot of that response. Let me see what I got here. This is going to be confusing to you. I've analyzed so many different ways, but let me take that off here. I just want to get the bars pattern. Where's my bars pattern at? Maybe it's right here. Yeah, bars pattern. So let's go ahead and grab this, and I could probably take that. We can go to another chart anyways, right? So let's just go back over to our chart that we were watching earlier. Probably a little bit cleaner. Yeah, come over here. All right, and I'm going to throw that down here because this is what we want to. Didn't give it to me. Oh, I got to turn this on. Duh. There it is. Okay. So didn't obviously size it the right size, but that's okay. I can size it up, and we can just kind of look at this here. What size did I have that on? I guess I shouldn't have had it on this. You can really see that this section here, like triple cup. You can see it back here. You can see what's forming. Boom. You see the triple cup right there, the 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then you can almost like say, okay, well then line that cup up with this. You can really see that there's a behavior here going on. So there could be, once again, it's not going to be sized perfectly, but it's a similar behavior. Something like that could be underway right now, which would, you can see this back side really does line up. It depends how you want to put this. It doesn't need to be perfect, but there's a high probability that this move, boom, come down here, hit that triple cup. You can see it right there, 1 2 3. You see it right there, 1 2 3. And after that triple cup, you can see we had a up, and then it kind of played a game there. So what you want to do is kind of zoom in there and kind of look at that and say, is there any sort of resemblance? It doesn't need to be specific or perfect. I think we can say that there's some sort of behavior here that from a macro standpoint, it's not far off. You can see me lay it over there from a macro standpoint. So if you're wondering what the green lines are, those are the degrees. Those are degrees that Bitcoin likes to run. So as you can see, the degree of that it likes to run, it loves the 70, 73 degree angle that it likes to run. Even back here, I probably had one. 73 or 70, 70. So it would then push that 70 angle, which would then support that we should probably have a move up here on Bitcoin. So once again, I tie all this stuff together. A Bitcoin straight candle up to mimic this side. A lot of times you'll get this, like you see this candle straight up right here. That happened on the downside. That mimicked the other side. So let's say we were right here. We had a fall right here. You take that candle, and I would say that there's a likelihood that this mimics, but you gotta pull it all together to see if that's the probability. And anyways, I like this area. I like that we probably push up here. So however it wants to play around here. I don't care if there's a little pullback. I don't care if there's any of that. I'm not even looking at that. As you can see, I'm on a 3-day right now. Don't really care. I'm not doing intraday trades. I'm very patient, more of a position trader, macro, looking for a move up. That's what the gaps say. That's what a lot of things say, and that's what, even though I don't like that stochastic, I think I got a shot here, especially to pierce up. So if we go down to like a daily, I remember I like that. That looked good. Would like to see a strong close here. We got 21 minutes left. I do like that candle though. It's back testing underneath there, but I do like that. So let's not stop there. Let's go over to Bitcoin dominance. So here goes Bitcoin dominance, and let me turn on the lights here. You're going to see gaps. So we got gaps above. Those have been here for quite some time. If we start filling those gaps, the market's completely gone. It's very bad. Like everything. If Bitcoin goes up there, the whole thing's coming down. But for right now, we have some good news. All right. Good news is I do have a Bitcoin one left here, because you can see that got closed out. This got closed out on the downside. I do have a little guy here which says Bitcoin can push up. So let me go get off this weekly and let's go to a daily so we can kind of see. Yeah, it's not much, but actually right there that looks like it was closed from that perspective, but I think it's open. Right down here, these two are open, so this would be an alt season, clearing out these gaps. So if you're wondering where's the alt season, where's XRP and stuff driving, it's the gaps to the downside. I went through this thoroughly, and it's not really like, hey, this is what happens if this happens, but we can use it as a guider, because back here when this dominance fell on BTC, all the alts ran right here. January 2021 to June 2021, that's where they ran. I won't ever forget that because I sold before that because I was learning gaps. But everything worked out for me. It just took a while, and it's helping me today. So anyways, that is a move right there that could be happening again because we do have gaps, and not that that's an ultimate stop level. If this does do this, you're going to get your alt season. So if you're wondering where alt season is, it's right here in front of you. Yeah, let's click that. It's right here in front of you. So clearing out these gaps I have below, you know, as you can see in the end of 2023, the rest of the year, end of 2024, if this comes down here, and it can even pierce down below it, that is your that's your alt season that you've probably been looking for. A lot of you guys have been looking for. There it is right there. That would happen. It'd be very similar to that. Just happening again over here. We got gaps to support it. That'll give you that nice push up. The question is where does it stop? Is there gaps being left? And did these come a factor above these gaps up here? Because those are detrimental. Not very good. You're not going to like those. But once again, we're not there yet. That's further down the road. But for right now, this looks really good. I think you can. I think this all ties in. I was just showing you with XRP earlier, and I'm showing you right now. Hey, there goes your. You want XRP to pop? You want it to go higher? You want some alts to go higher? Right there. The gaps are available. They're going to get taken out at some point. Let BTC finish off, and we'll go from there. Another thing you can do to wonder if, like, okay, is BTC going to continue? Let me do this. Let's take this. There was a lot of I used this recently, and it was actually it was working out. Let me get off of Lenara here. I was looking at some real estate stuff. Let's go over here and put this both on a daily. And sometimes you can use this, and it doesn't just stick forever, but you can use this to your advantage. So come on over here. And what I'll do is I'll run my cursor here, and what you'll notice here is you see that one move there, and you see this guy here, then you see another one here, and you see that pop right there, right? I don't think this pop has happened for us yet, right? So if I come over here, and let's say I don't even, there's so many ways you can do this. You can say this move is this move, and then this second one is this one, and we're on the third one, and we're going to get the pop. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is you just roll with this and say, okay, let's start with that move because it's pretty much almost identical, right? You run that cursor there and you say, okay, this looks good. Boom, we popped up, and then we shuffled over, and then you're like, okay, this went and popped up. We popped up here, but the key thing is you got to look at this. You want to look at this level here, right here, all right, the top of that level, which is this level right here. This broke through that and came all the way up here. We haven't came all the way up here, right? That would be close to that 40,000, 35, 40,000. I think that move is still on deck is what I'm getting at. I don't, and it's, as you can see me trying to tie it together, I think it's there. So if you're wondering where we'd be at, we'd just zoom in here and we'd say, well, we're jerking around right there, just drawing that long right there. So you would be this same move here. And you can see my cursor, right? Boom, 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 boom. Pushes up, and it gets to that top right there, which is where we got here, but then it went another leg. We haven't done that another leg, but I think that leg, that push up is about to come through. You're kind of seeing a little bit of that behavior kind of brew, and it looks like it might want to do that. It's mimicked pretty well right now, as you can see. So I wouldn't bet against it, is what I'm saying. I would kind of use it a little bit right now and say, I think that this went up another notch. I think we can get that. That's more of a fractal kind of read. So I think that's it. We got about, I just want to do a nice little hour stream. We got about 15, almost 15 minutes left, 16 right now if I want to be exact. If you guys have any questions, I will reply to them. I'll look at the chat now. If you've been chatting, sorry. I just wanted to kick this out, especially for those that want to replay stuff. But if you have any questions, fire away. There's certain charts I'll talk about. There's certain ones I'll probably just skip over. And it's only because I just try to keep some of this stuff private that I don't want to speak about. No offense. I just feel like things backfire when you start putting stuff publicly. BTC to 56, 67, the big crash, says Rambo. Just wouldn't. Can you check on Dragon Chain? Is there any more charts on that one? I think there's only like one left, right? Because it got delisted and stuff. Are you a Dragon Chain holder, MVDZ? dragon chain here. I mean, this thing's just been in a bear market like crazy. It's one of those ones, man. I think you could probably do some great things. Man, I had that all-time high back. I mean, that's not even accurate right there, but it was at like $5 or something. It's been in a bear market. I mean, I think the easy answer for you, without going into a bunch of details on this one, is that there's definitely a room for up. I mean, there's definitely a great room for up. I think this wick is of value here. These wicks are of value. I've seen stuff die too, not to sound negative, but I've been in plenty of those. I've been in a couple of those myself. But ultimately, if you wanted my just quick thought, I like it. I like it. That's definitely something I like. Chris, what is your all-time high prediction for this cycle of BTC and XRP? Ray, I would say I wouldn't rule out 100,000 Bitcoin, but I'm expecting a new all-time high for Bitcoin. XRP, man, I can draw fibs on stuff, 4236 fib, and I didn't even go over this this little area right here. This channel that could be adding into an area that we're at least going to come back here and test. That's something that I think could happen. If I go and put this thing on like a weekly, shut that down. Let's go and we already hit that. So like, let's say if we ran the let me see if we go off this base right here. I mean, if you take the because some of them already went to the 4236. Let me take this away. Got two of them on there, right? We start here. We come and touch this bottom here. Let me put this. Respecting that force, the half 618. I've seen them come here, so I don't want to say that that's not possible. The 4236, but it's just. I'm going to take a one step at a time, but I would you can leave that on deck. That'd be my 10 plus moon on my on this right here. See that $10 plus moon? That's from what I'm showing you right now. That 4236. Because I think it was let's take ADA. The thing is it's tough to gamble on this. Like, all right, it's going to go there 100%, right? So this one actually didn't even go there. This went to the 2618. I think BTC is the one that, and other ones. It's not just BTC. They went to the coming back here, bottoming this out. Yeah, see how this went to the 4236. It's just about. I'm sure different charts show different, but because they probably had a wick right there. But right around there, almost at 4236. So if we just say the 3618 on XRP, what was that? Was that like near $10 or something? Slide down a little bit there, 13 something. So I would say that, I mean, that would be where I'm not expecting that, but that would be, if I wanted to give you something, I'd give that right there. But I'm not really shooting for that right now. No, I mean, and I'm taking it one step at a time, at least coming up here to grab that. The $1.30 gap needs to happen first, and the $1.59, and then the way it draws is going to be very important to me. So we'll see how that unfolds. And then BTC, I got that going to an all-time high a little bit, maybe 100,000, a little bit right around there, I think can happen. But I'm not fully sold on that. It's just I take one level at a time. But if you're asking, like, I think those are possible. I wouldn't roll those out. When this stuff starts playing, when this stuff does stuff, it'll do it in crazy forms. So I wouldn't rule it out. Would you share one of your crypto projects you like? I mean, Casper, which a lot of people, I would say that one won. I think I'm big on Casper. Casper looks good. I like that a lot. Shane, I will jump. I see. Actually, I was getting to you next. Actually, hold on. I like how you looked at the fractals with constellation. A lot of correlation astronomy. Focus. Thanks, man. You guys saw how heavy I went in, labeling each one, looking at moons and stuff like that, new moons, full moons, and seeing if I found something. I was doing anything I can to see if there was any sort of patterns. I longed LTC on 101. What should I do now? Should I close or should I wait? Arsalan, just off of my mind. I know there's a gap at 300 if you want to wait for that. I can't guarantee it, but I got a couple of them there. So if you want to wait for that, Could fall in your favor. You have to be patient. But if you're using something that could liquidate you, those wicks can come in and knock you out. So it can go to 300, but it could take you out before it does that. So it's you know how it goes. It'll make you, you know, if it's going to short or go down, it'll just play around. It'll take the shorts out, it'll take the longs out, and it's just because it's like a casino slot machine. So, but I do think if you're just holding naturally, excuse me, I like that area for LTC. What do you think XDC can reach? Actually, let me go. I don't want to skip over Shane because he tipped me right here. So, hey pal, can you check the quant chart, please? Yeah, I might have to go over here because quant, they started erasing data on stuff. So yeah, I had a channel on this. I don't think I have it on. Obviously, this is what I had at one point, but that's no longer of value. But you can see it was of great value, and then it kind of broke out of the channel. And you might say, well, was it just gonna come back here? I would actually think more than that. Let me go and see if I got any gaps or anything on that quant on one of my charts over here real quick. Quant. I lost a lot of, they removed, yeah. Do I have anything on this? Nothing. Oh wait, no I do. Oh, as you can see, well, you probably don't like this on the downside, Shane, because you see I do have gaps to the downside, but and I have everything taken out on the upside. You can see me, I don't have anything else for you. I will tell you, kind of maxed out here on don't like that right there. Let me go to a 3-day and see if it has anything. You got a shot here on the 3-day to get this thing up here on the you can see the way the stochastic's moving. If you can get some more further momentum on this, I like this wick. This is in your favor, and I like these wicks in your favor, and I like these in your favor. You saw the way I was reading XRP and BTC. I would think that this rolls with it. So I think if I was to just kind of, I think you got at least another 156 to 162% move here, and then if I come back over to our channel here, I mean, let's say it bounces back in the channel. I mean, can I make this make sense more? So I mean, they pierce out of the channel. Don't let these channels think they need to be precise. It's like one of the worst things you can do is to think that these things are precise. I can throw Dogecoin up here and you guys will see that right away. So you would love that, wouldn't you? What's percent stat pool? Let's see. Let's just say it goes back up here. Let's see. Let's see if we take that top. I want that more so than anything. We would do body to wick is what I would do, which would then pin that down a little bit. If this, I mean, a lot of times I can show you some like DXY charts and stuff. It'll stay in this for sometimes for a while. In a perfect storm, you want up in here. I mean, if you can get that, I wouldn't roll this stuff out. I would not roll that out. 37x from where you said, I wouldn't roll that out. I'm not gonna just live on it. You saw I got gaps to the downside. Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more for you, man. I don't like that wick down there for later. I do think there's a massive wipeout if you guys, I mean, but, you know, that's with a lot of stuff collapsing, you know, banks and stuff, you know, regulating a lot of those cryptos. We got too many in the space. Let me go up here, see what else we got going on. Near protocol, my friend, how are you? Bitcoin, oh, what's up, Chris? Doing great. About Mara at 410. I said that. It's a lot. These channels have been well. Thanks, August, man. Yeah, Shane, best of luck for you, man. I think you can at least see this September 2021 level. I think you can at least kick back up there. I think you can at least get that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it kicks a little higher, man. but it starts to get dangerous once you get up there, in my opinion. But if you just, this has done so well, but I wouldn't rule out that it does dropping and it can hit some lower levels. Especially the one thing that I would remember if I were you on this is that, hey, this can come up here and draw and kick up here, right? But I wouldn't rule that out right there, all these getting grabbed. So, you know how pissed off you'd be, you know, coming up here, and then, you know, that's a 90% pull if it gets up here from your profits. So you got to take profits, in my opinion. Start DCAing. Not financial advice, right? Ever. All right, we got 5 minutes left. Dude, nice. You got in a 6. I think you got a good shot at getting it, man. Yeah, I wish you well on getting that. All right, well, I just jumped on algo. Algo is not a bad one. Especially it's literally taken out a bunch of my gaps that I had, that you guys know I had. Look, these gaps, these were placed back here. You can see what happened. I got some gaps above for you on algo. I think algo goes up here. So I think algo is a good one. Don't let the whole security scare from Gary get you. I think you got an easy 10x. But then I think there's more. There's more, I think. And I think that's like this year. I think that's like we're in route right now. As crazy as that might sound, you saw me put moon market. I'm not saying it for likes and followers. Please don't subscribe. Don't like any. I don't care. I mean, this is doing exactly what I wanted to do right now. 3 minutes left. You're giving me that 1.4. This was an ugly, ugly day at one point. Let me see. There we go. Pump that. Finished off. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Close that up. I'm probably going to hit that 500. It's a good chance I might just pull that right now. Pearson up on the RSI. You're seeing it happen at a 1 hour level. You guys saw what I was saying as it gets to the higher levels. I would take note of that. Probably going to go up and hit that hopefully before we close. But yeah, this is exactly the candle you want in here, man. Clearing out these wicks to the left side. This does become of importance, but right now we're closing a nice green one where we might be getting that straight up line that, you know, if you've watched this stream, you'll see, you know, which you guys have, mostly, you know, that's what the data is presenting. It's saying like, hey, we got this opportunity here to push up right now, straight, and get a nice little straight line. So we'll see. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, but yeah, I like it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Sarah, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been well. New high this year before the having just because it's never done before. That'd be, yeah, I think that would be something good. Do you have a Telegram channel or something you'd like to communicate with your audience for urgent updates? Arslan, I have a private group. It's been closed out. No offense. I just have a really, really cool group of people, and they have been very good to me and honest and straight up and respectful, and they have paid a price for, you know, certain information, and you know, the group is. I closed it after I asked people like, hey. Literally filtered. There was 600 people in the group down to 60, and I really like the 60 I have. But at 2024, I might open up. So the best way for anybody to sometimes get something out of me, which I typically don't do too much, is on this. Would be the only way. Like, hey man, like every now and again I'll be in a mood where they're like, "What's your thoughts on this?" And I'll be like, "Pop, pop, pop," and it's coming from the way I'm reading, as you see right now. But yeah, for the most part. I'm giving all my attention to the private members until the beginning of the year. Then I might open the door again. We'll see how it goes. But Ray, thanks, man. Focus, bro. Hope you've been well, man. Appreciate your insight, Chris. Glad to see you enjoyed yourself in Greece. Any chance to start back with a membership like the good old days? Yeah. Unless you missed, you were in the group. It stayed. I don't know if maybe you weren't in a couple lives, maybe you were away or something, but that private membership group you were in. But yeah, like, so I asked everybody like, hey, do you want me to, I might not run it back. Do you want me to run it back? What's fair? Anyways, long story short, that group still is there. It's down to 60 people. But I'm going to, in 2024, revisit that. But yeah, you were in there, and I don't give anybody, sometimes people don't want to stay with the group, and that's fine. Or they got what they needed, that's fine. But anyways, yeah, man. Thanks for the tip. And anybody else, man, shout out to Pittsburgh. Anybody else Hopefully you guys have a great one. I will be poking around on some public Twitter, but hopefully there was some good information for you guys. The daily closed. That was a good closure over that 50 moving average there, as you can see. Hopefully you guys get what you guys are looking for, man. Best of luck. You guys take care. I'll see you guys later, and thanks for tuning in. See ya.